So you want to build a cargo trailer. Alright, let's talk about it. Here's how you get started, or here's how I got started. I decided what brand trailer that I wanted to build. And there are multiple brands out there, and you can get them in a metal frame, an aluminum frame. You can get them with a flat front, a V-nose front, extended tongue, short tongue. You can get all kinds of trailers. So the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out what is it that you're going to do with it. What are you going to put in it? What are your expectations with it? Ours was to use it for a toy hauler slash cargo conversion RV travel trailer. So we wanted to use it for pretty much everything, and that's what we do with it. Now, you've probably seen some of my videos about solar and the plumbing and some of the other stuff we've done on it. If you haven't, go look at them. They're in our playlist. I've got 2 or 3 on solar. Anyway, they're really good videos about how I did it, how I mounted it, why I did it the way I did it. But anyway, back to the cargo trailer. Decide what brand you want and then find you a reputable dealer. And by reputable, I'm talking about one that will actually communicate with you along the way in the process. A lot of them want to sell you what they have sitting on the lot. That was not what I wanted. I wanted to actually have mine custom built because I had in mind what I wanted to put in it, and I knew the dimensions of the trailer I was going to need to accomplish that. Okay, so like I said, we went with Diamond. And the company we went with, I won't mention them by name, but they were in South Georgia. Really great to work with. Okay, so what I did was, I knew what I wanted in my trailer. I knew the refrigerator. I knew that I wanted a full shower unit in it. I knew I wanted a ceramic toilet in it. And I knew which brand and model number. I knew the microwave I wanted. I knew everything that I wanted because Kathy and I had talked about what we wanted to put in it, what we expected, all the way down to the electric fireplace that's in it. So we knew every piece that we wanted, and we knew where we were going to put it. Now, the thing you need to do to figure that out is get you some graph paper. And even if you're not an architect, and I'm not, but you can take graph paper and you can actually draw something to scale by using graph. So my trailer is 8.5 by 24. Now the 24 is the square box of the trailer, or the rectangle in this case. It does not count the V in the front of it, which adds a 1.5 2 foot somewhere in there. And I used that for my kitchen, and I knew that's where I was going to put my kitchen counter, which would give me a bigger counter space. Okay, so when you start laying it out on paper, draw it out and be realistic about it. Don't try to cram everything in there really tight, because you're going to be awful disappointed when you actually start trying to live out of it. We have built ours to be able to live full-time if we choose to out of it. And we travel for several weeks at a time sometimes, and very comfortable in it. Now, in the front of it, we built a counter that takes up the entire V and 1.5 feet. So 1.5 feet back. So if you look at the outside of our trailer, you can see where the door on the passenger side of it, the entry door is. And our door is a 36-inch door. I did a 36-inch door because I wanted to be able to get anything I wanted in and out of there without any problems. It also makes it easy if you've got, like Kathy, that has mobility issues. Makes it easy for her to get in and out with a walker if she needs to, or if I need to help her in and out. Now ours is a toy hauler. It has the ramp on the back. And a couple of years ago when I first built it, I built it in mind because she was in an electric wheelchair and she could ride right up in it and ride back out of it. So now we use that ramp to put our bicycles in and out, or our Gold Wing in and out. And again, we had to account for all this up front. We knew exactly what we wanted to be able to put in there. So all that being said, I had the door moved back 2 feet from where they normally would put the door in. I did that because I knew the kitchen was going to be up front, and I also knew that I was going to put a cabinet and side counter on the passenger side between the counter and the door. So I'll put some pictures of our setup in there so you guys can see what I'm talking about, so it'll make sense to you. But just know that all this stuff, I had to think about it up front. This can't be a I'll do it as I go by the seat of my pants later, or you're going to end up with serious weight and tongue weight issues. And I took all this into account when I did it. Now, I tell you that to tell you this. When I got all my calculations done, I had my axles moved back 1 foot toward the back, further back than the factory sets them. Now, the factory has a set of plans that they use to have the weight for like 60-40 or something. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, I knew that I wanted about 1,400, somewhere between 1,300 and 1,400 pounds of tongue weight. And that's exactly what I have. I have around 1,400, give or take a few pounds, depending on how we've loaded the refrigerator and stuff out. So I had to move the axle back 1 foot. Now, when you get done with your graph and you figure out what all your weights are, you will know, and you can also have your axle adjusted if you'd like. You can bring it forward, you can take it back, and they don't care. They will move it for you. And they did it at no cost to me because it was, I told them up front I wanted to, so they got to put them on anyway, so it didn't matter where they put them. They just put them where I told them to put them. Also did that with the 2 side windows that I had installed at the factory. The rest of them I did myself because at the time we weren't sure we were actually going to put a window in the door or if we were going to put the one in the back by the bed. We did. I got videos of that. Go look at them. Very easy to do, not hard at all. A little intimidating when you first punch a hole in the side of the trailer, but really not hard to do. Alright, so you can go online for any appliance that you want to put in your trailer. Now, we use the Gantz, I can't remember what the name of it is. Anyway, you guys know what they are. They're the retro style refrigerator and appliances. But you can find it for anything, even the Dometic toilet that we have in there. And I think ours is the 320, I think. Anyway, go online. It will tell you exactly what it weighs. It will tell you exactly what the dimensions are. I mean, it will tell you everything about it, even down to the power draw. The power draw is important when you go back over and start looking at the solar part of it that we did. That's how I sized my system to know that I had enough. But back to what I was talking about, go look. Even your kitchen cabinets and a sheet of plywood, all of that is online. Go see what it weighs, and don't skimp. Don't think just because that box of screws that you're going to use is just a box of screws, don't include that. That box of screws might weigh 2 or 3 pounds. If you put 2 or 3 pounds in the very front of a trailer, well, it's going to weigh a lot more there than it does if you put it over the axles. So what I'm telling you is don't skimp. Even your trim. I have really nice trim work in mine. It's lightweight trim, but it's big, so it has a weight. So I figured out what the weight was for that, and everything weighs. So it's important to get your axles right also. Now, my trailer weighs about 7,500 pounds without the gold wing. Add 900 if I put it in it. I have 5,200 pound axles. So I got a little over 10,000 pounds. So I'm well within my weight. But I wanted to have the fudge factor is what I call it. I wanted to have enough to where I knew I wasn't even close. Because when you get close, that's when you start breaking things. And nobody wants to be breaking stuff while you're on the road. Or I don't anyway. It's just not my cup of tea. If you like to break stuff and fix it, power to you. But it ain't mine. Alright. Where was I going with that? I don't know. Oh yeah, back to the weight. Alright, so I was talking about the extended tongue, the axles, and your weights. One of the other things I ordered on mine that a lot of people don't think about, if you're thinking about doing solar at some point, solar is pretty heavy to go on top of a cargo trailer. They're not built like your typical RV. You really need to consider strengthening the top of it. And again, go back and look at my video how I mounted mine. I used special mounts, but when I ordered mine, I talked to the rep at the factory and told him what I was going to do with it eventually, and he suggested that I put an extra bar around the top of the frame when they built it. Now when they build them, some of them use a 1x1 tube that goes all the way around the top before they put the skins on. Where the aluminum goes around the top. Uh, some of them use a 1.5 by 1. Now my particular trailer is a 1.5 by 1, and he suggested that I stack it twice. So I have a 1 by 3 band all the way around the top of my trailer. Now I can't remember exactly what that cost me, but it was only like $200 or $300 more to do that. And I recommend that if you're going to do solar, or you're going to put anything, if you're going to put a walking platform up there, you're going to haul kayaks up there, if you're going to put a rack to do anything, do it. For the extra little bit of money, it is just money well spent and peace of mind. I've had zero trouble out of mine. And I can't remember exactly what my solar weighs, but the panels were about 60 something pounds a piece, and there's 6 of them. And then you got the wire, and then you got all the unistrut. So you can see where it starts weighing, several hundred pounds pretty quick. So if you're going to have your trailer built, go ahead and consider doing that. Now you can have your vent put anywhere you want to have it put. And so I put mine where I knew the bathroom was going to go, and I put a max air vent in it once I've got it back. I didn't have them install it. They will install them for you. I didn't have them do it. It was just cheaper for me to do it myself since I was building it anyway. It just didn't matter. So keep that in mind. You can also have multiples put in. You can have one put in to where you can have a traditional rooftop air conditioner put into it, and they'll strengthen it up for you. I opted not to because I knew I was going to do a mini split. In my opinion, the mini split is way superior to any of the rooftop air conditioners. I get heat, and I get air, and I get it at a low wattage, and that is very good for my solar and my batteries. And it's just really efficient. It's quiet too, where the rooftops are super loud. So that's just a little bit of insight into why you want to think about your cargo trailer if you're going to build one yourself. Give it a lot of thought. Don't rush it. You don't have to build it tomorrow, and you're not gonna build it tomorrow anyway, because when you order one, it takes a little while to get it. Think about what color you want it. I mean, we even thought about what color, because we knew eventually we were going to put graphics on it, and I wanted it to look good. So think about all that stuff up front. Also think about wiring. When you go to wire it, how are you going to wire it? Where are you going to run the wires? How are you going to make it easy to service later? All mine's ran around the top. You take the crown molding down, all the wiring is behind it. Easy to find it. All my outside marker lights, it's behind the crown molding. If I have one goes bad, take the crown molding off, unhook it, put a new one on. Keep all that kind of stuff in mind. You're going to want to think this whole thing out really well. Serviceability later. How hard is it going to be to get to your water lines once you've ran them? Now my shower is a full bathtub and shower unit because that's what Kathy wanted, so she got the full thing. So if you look inside my closet, and to the right there's an access panel. I can get to the back to replace the shower valves. I can get to it to work on the water line if I need to. I can also get to where the water heater is from inside the bathroom by removing a small access panel I built to go around it just to make it look nice. 2 screws, it comes off. You can get to any of the fittings there. So keep all that kind of stuff in mind. How easy is it going to be to access it? My water pump, my fresh water tank, it's in the bottom of my closet. When you take everything out of the bottom of the closet, I call it a trap door. The door's on a piano hinge. You just flip it up. Everything's right there. The 30-gallon water tank, the water pump, the winterized valve where you can open it up to drain the fresh water tank. Everything is right there. Really easy to service. You want to keep all that in mind when you're building one. It's nothing worse than building something haphazard and then you get a water leak at some point and you got to tear half the trailer apart to get to a water line. It's no good, and I promise you, if you use it long enough, you will have a water problem. Now I used PEX and copper fittings, so I'm hoping it's a long time before I have a water issue, but that's what I used. It cost a little more to do it. You can use PEX and plastic like you get in the commercial RVs. You're asking for trouble. Just spend the extra money up front and do it right. Trying to think of all the things, kind of the gotchas you're going to get Try not to make any holes in the roof that you don't absolutely have to have. The only hole I got in my roof is the one for the max air vent and the stack for the black tank for the vent. That is all that is in the top of my roof. Even my mini split goes down the front and comes up through the floor. Now everything that I did comes through the floor. Electrical, everything except for the 30 amp service that goes in the side and that kind of stuff. But my solar, my mini split, all that kind of stuff, it all comes through the floor. And I did that because I don't want any water intrusion. You put a hole in the front and you get blinding, pushing rain or in the sides, you're just asking for trouble. Now under my trailer, you guys can think about this too. Mine's a 4 Seasons trailer. I had it jacked up and they put 4 inches of closed cell foam under it after I finished it. So my tanks, my plumbing, my electrical, everything under it has got some foam on it. Now the very bottom of my tanks don't, but if I start doing wintertime stuff, I don't know that we will, but if we start doing wintertime stuff, they actually make pads that you can put on the bottom of the tanks that heat them, but the sides and the top and everything are already insulated. So again, just keep all that in mind. These trailers are personal. I mean, everybody that builds one of these builds it for you. You're not building it for me. You're not building it for the guy that's going to buy it. You're building it for you. It's for your purpose. So build it for what you want it for. So keep all this in mind. I'm not going to talk about this too long, but those are some of the things I would look for. Those are some of the things I would actually order if I was going to order one. You can also get different thicknesses on the skins on the side. We opted for I can't remember. It's not 30. It might be 80 or 50. Anyway, it's the really thick. It's got 2 sheets of aluminum and some kind of resin core or something in the middle of it. They're big sheets, big thick sheets, but they don't wrinkle when it gets hot and cold. So we opted to go for that, and they also come in colors. Now we went semi-screwless, and that means that they only screw it on the edge of the sheets. I could have got a seamless, and I kind of wish I'd have done that now, but I was just afraid of delamination. I've heard the horror stories over the years of that stuff coming loose, and it's just so hard to fix. So I wanted the outside edges of it screwed in. But you can get it screwless, and they look really nice if you get them that way. So again, it's all stuff that you can think about, you can order. You can get it with straight axles, drop axles. That's something else. I recommend you get them straight axles. Do not get the drop axles. I have drop axles. Regretted it since the day I took delivery of it. I wish I had not done that. They have a tendency to want to bend or break, and you also have very low ground clearance with them. Get a straight axle from the factory. They will cut the fenders and everything to match where it looks right, because now if I put the straight axles in, it's going to look like I have put a lift kit on my trailer, which I probably am going to do eventually anyway, but I wish I'd have done it from the get-go at the factory. That is one of the things I did not think about, and later on it became pretty obvious that's what I should have done. So again, I'm not going to talk about this much longer. If you guys have got questions about how I did something, how I figured something out, just put it in the comments. I always answer all the comments. I never leave a comment unanswered. So we're still a small channel, so that affords me the ability to be able to talk to you guys real regular, and usually I'm pretty prompt about it. If you're not comfortable and you think somebody's going to think that's a dumb question, send it to me in an email. It's makeeachdaycount365@gmail.com. That's makeeachdaycount365@gmail.com. I'll answer it. It's not a problem. If it's something that you don't want other people to know, might be personal or something, just feel free to email me. Not a problem at all. Also, if you guys have made it this far, we really appreciate it. We try really hard to put quality content out, and it's not as easy as you think every week. So if you guys are enjoying this and you enjoy our channel, like and subscribe to it. That's the way you can support us. The best way to support us is just keep liking and liking and liking, and hit the little bell so you're notified every time we put a new video out. And if you got friends or you got an extra email account, go subscribe again. It just helps us out. But we appreciate all of you guys. So I guess that's it for now. Um, we are in our new studio and we do have new equipment. So you guys, kind of put something down there in the comment and tell me is the sound right? Because I'm using a new microphone. I'm also using a different style of camera. So you guys let me know. Is this, to me, I think the quality is much better now. I've done several runs of tests just to see, and I think it's much better. But you guys let me know. Anyway, for now, I'm going to let you guys go. Make each day count 365 and continue the journey. I say it all the time, but you guys need to get out there and look at this beautiful United States we live in. It is just gorgeous. You ain't got to go out of the country to see things. It's all right here in America. Get out and look at it. All right. From Kathy and I, we'll see you guys a little later. All right. Bye-bye.